Shalom, Most High Christ bless family. I'm Brother Eliah. And reading for me today is
Brother Yoel, Shalom, Most High in Christ, bless family.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Another topic on Monday night laws. The spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment. Shalom, Most High Christ bless family. We're going to start off with the definition of discernment.
The definition of discernment, synonyms of discernment. Number one, the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure, skill in discerning. Number two, an act of perceiving or discerning something.
All praise to the Most High. Thank you for that beautiful reading, brother.
Praise
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for tuning in on another topic on Monday Night Laws. All praise to the Most High. It's highly important that we have the spirit of discernment, right? Put on your spiritual glasses and see the good and evil and how to actually be able to judge matters and even judge yourself, correct yourself as well, right? And worry about your people and how they conduct themselves, right? In order to do so, we have to first pick up this book and read, right? Let's get that in Revelation 1 and 3.
All right, the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse number 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
All praise to the Most High. Yes, the time is at hand. It's such a blessing that you pick up this book and read because guess what? This book is about prophecy, right? It's for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, whose father, Negroid and Indian descent. It's prophecy about you guys, right? To come back into the Lord's fold, right? Read that again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
All praise. Yes, the time is at hand. You have to have that spirit of discernment. You have to know what's going on. Why are you doing it? What type of lifestyle that you're living, right? Are you accepting the ways of the other nations that's around you, right? Because when you pick up this book and read, guess what? You can learn all things. You can learn about prayer, learn to get that discernment from the Lord. No, I'm jumping around, brother, but I flip flopped on it. But First Kings 3 and 9, this is what happens when you read. You get a lot of good benefits, right? And the topic today is discernment. Let's get that discernment, brother.
The book of First Kings, chapter 3 and verse 9. Give therefore thy servants an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people?
Yes, because we have to get understanding. So you have to pick up this book and read, right? Highly important. So you can be able to judge what's good and evil in the midst of you. On every day, you could be at work, you can be at school, wherever the case may be. You have to be able to discern spirits, who's being righteous when you're in the midst of conversation with them, right? When you're able to consistently read out this book, you get to learn slowly. Your spirit discernment goes up, right? You become illuminated, right? Being able to see in the midst of darkness. Let's get that, brother. Come to life, right? In Baruch 4:1.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Yes, and this picture comes from it's an older movie called They Live.
That's
right?
right.
And the brother had the frames on, but the other nation had brother nation had the frames on. He put the frames on, and it showed him the true nature in some folks. Some folks were creatures, right? And they're walking around being as another creature or whatnot, right? But guess what? The Bible says what again? Read that again.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
When you put on your spiritual frames, you come to life. When you read out this book, you become illuminated. You know how to you in time you'll learn how to decipher good and evil, right? Read on.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Yes, that's the ultimate goal.
That's
You
right.
need to be illuminated. Ain't that right, brother?
That's right. We need illumination as more than ever. All praises, brother.
Because it's guess what? If you're not illuminated, you're gonna be in the midst of darkness just like everybody else. Let's get that example in Wisdom of Solomon 14:24 through 26.
The book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 24. They kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery.
That happens. That's they playing that in rap music, television, all over the place, right? And we react on it consistently, right? Read on.
Verse 25. So that there reign in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury.
Every single day we are consuming this. So it's highly important. That's why it's a blessing in Revelation 1 and 3 to read, right? Read on.
Verse 26. Disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanness.
And that happens every single day. You get a spiritual headache. So guess what? We have the spiritual medicine, the 1611. 1611.
Bible
With the Apocrypha. All praise to the Most High.
All praises. And brother, can we read verse 27 too? Can we add verse 27?
Yes, sir. Yep.
I love this. This kind of sums it up. Because we got the Caesar Borgia and other idols that actually is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. Verse 27. For the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. So all the evil we read above, the disquieting of good turns and adultery and dissimulation and all these evil acts, it comes from idol worship, seeing that you're not the people and basically looking at the other people as God versus you are the children of the Most High God. You are the Israelites, and we have to value one another and discern that we have an all-out enemy of the other nations outside of the 1/3. All right, that's all I want to add.
Yes, sir. Definitely right. Because shoot, my grandma had the white Jesus on her fridge. At other people's houses to have that portrait of him and other worshiping other idols. It could be celebrities. The list go on, so on and so forth. Which is why I'll praise for their brother bringing it out. Which is why we stayed in the scriptures, right? So he can be able to reprove the people. Let's get that in Ephesians 5:10 through 18.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 10, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Yes, and you have to have that discernment. You have to read, be illuminated to reprove people, right? All right, read on.
Verse 12, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
Yeah, so even if you're in the truth, right? You don't want to have respect to persons. You don't want to withhold information, because on the flip side, we have to teach people who don't know who they are. So we don't want to hide our riches. This is our brother. You want to bring out
Wisdom of Solomon? Yes, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 13. We do not hide these riches.
Yes, sir. That's highly important. We have to tell the truth, right? You may lose some friends, but guess what? Were they ever your friends to begin with when that happens, right? Or we have to teach people who don't know their nationality, tell them the truth because we're going to be held accountable, right? Read on.
Verse 13, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light.
Yes, because people will see your light and people will come to you based off on how you carry yourself, right? Read on.
Verse 14, wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light.
Yes, that light is in Proverbs 6 and 23.
Mhm.
That light is the law, the commandments is that lamp. And how when you keep reading this book, it's gonna configure the way you move and operate, right? And it's gonna be displayed. So people in the mist, the darkness, gonna see you,
Mhm.
right? But you have to gird yourself up, right? Read on.
Verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Walk circumspectly. That's highly important. We got a dart on our back. We got a target on our back because we
Mhm.
that light in the midst of a whole bunch of darkness, right?
That's right.
You have to discern. You got to pick up that light and see where you're moving and operating, right?
Mhm. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Yeah, the days are consistently increasing in wickedness, right? Read on.
Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
Yes, the will is in Psalms 40 and 8. We're not going to go to it, but having the commandments on your mind consistently, doing the Lord's bidding, right? Because we owe such a high level of debt to the Lord. So we got to do the will, right? Doing what He wants us to do in righteousness, right? Read
That's right.
on.
Verse 18, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit.
Yes, we have to walk circumspectly, consistently, right? Because since we're that light, we're going to be tried consistently. But once you know this truth, you have to gird yourself up consistently. Trust me. Just because you see us doing classes, we have to deal with a lot of stuff. So we have to be on our guard. We have to consistently study, read, be the try to be the examples by reading the examples by our forefathers and mothers, right?
That's
Let's
right.
let's get that in Ecclesiasticus 2, 1 through 6.
The book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocryphal books, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Man, it's a lot of temptation, man. It's just prepare. So that's the process, right?
Yes.
Mm. Read on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble.
Yes, because there's so many examples in this book.
Mhm.
Forefathers and mothers constantly endured, and then you've seen some that has hasted and was in the midst of sin. Don't be like them. You got the Lord on your side when you keep reading. Constantly endure. Don't make haste in time of trouble. Right? Read on.
Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Yes, you have to consistently seek Him always. So the goal is to be increased. You're supposed to elevate in this walk.
Yes.
You can't stay the same, folks. Right? You'll steadily be increased in the last end. The last end, because we're living in last days. You have an opportunity to get it right. So constantly endure, right? Read on.
Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, make cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Yes, because you're gonna get hit. But we have to be tried because we owe a debt to the Lord, right? Read on.
Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Yes, remember that gold is tried in the fire. You want the reward, you have to go through it. And the ultimate goal is you have to be able to consistently endure, read, learn how to discern certain things, right? You get the understanding by the Lord, but you have to go through stuff. You have to be tried, right? Prepare yourself for this, right? Read on.
Verse 6, believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him.
Believe in him.
That's
He
right.
will. All praises to the Most High. He will, not man. He
Mhm.
will, the Lord. He will direct your ways. Trust in him.
That's
Be
right.
around like-minded individuals, right? He gives the wisdom. Let's get that in James 1 and 5. He gives the wisdom. Not man. We tired of man. You
That's,
tired of man?
I'm tired of we can't live by man's law, not anymore. I mean, his laws have failed us. All praises. We have this everlasting covenant with the Most High God and everlasting wisdom that is the stability of our times. And that's Isaiah 33 and 6. All right. The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Yes, because you're doing it with the right spirit. Get wisdom for what? To teach the people. And with wisdom, you're supposed to lack compassion, humbleness, right? Ask the Lord on all things. Don't ask man, don't ask Google. Ask the Lord. If you lack wisdom, the Lord can give it to you because you have the right type of spirit on your mind, right?
That's right.
And with that, let's get some wisdom, brother.
All right.
Let's get some wisdom. Let's start with 1 John 4:1. Let's get some wisdom. All praise to the Most High for the manuscripts that we have.
All praises. First, the book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Yes, we're gonna get with discernment, right? You're not supposed to believe you're not supposed to believe every single spirit. Try the spirits because there are a lot of false prophets. A prophet is somebody that speaks something into existence and it comes to pass. A false prophet is the opposite. They speak something into existence and guess what? It doesn't come to pass. They consistently do that, right? But you have to try every single time. Try the spirit. It takes time. Don't believe everything you see.
And can I add verse 2 to this list too?
Oh yeah.
All praise, because you have the immaculate deception being taught. This is how you try the spirit, because a lot of universalism and a lot of false prophets are teaching the immaculate conception. All right, well, watch this, verse 2. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God.
That's spiritual. That's spiritual right there.
And if you want to know he took on nature or the seed of Abraham, your reference is Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16. He did not take on the nature of angels. He was made like unto his brother, who was made by a mother and a father. He came in the flesh. All praises.
Yeah, that's an excellent example of being somebody teaching being a false prophet. And that's dangerous too, because you teaching that Christ never had a nationality. Yet you go to the street and you talk about nationality. We can't do that, folks. Folks that should know better. That should be in this truth, right? Where you're dangerous or outside the truth, right? They still teach that because they has an origin of it, right? Let's get some more wisdom, brother. Deal with the spirit of discernment. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. Man, I love this chapter.
All praises, me too. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37, verse 1. Every friend saith, I am his friend also, but there is a friend which is only a friend in name.
Yeah, so we given some examples, right, of discerning a friend, right? Some friends, they're only a friend in name, right? They're only because when stuff happens, they run, right? Or other situations happen. This is true statement. I'm pretty sure this happened to us. It happened to me. It happened, Brother Ewell, and folks out there just tuning in, right? Read on.
Verse 2. Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and friend is turned to an enemy?
Yeah, it grieves it vexes the spirit. Like, man, I used to be cool with that person, or you know what I'm saying, and they double crossed me, or whatever the case may be. We all been through that throughout our lifetime, right? Read on.
Verse 3. O wicked imagination, whence camest thou in to cover the earth with deceit?
Oh man, trying to cover the earth with deceit and wicked imagination. Good Lord. Right, read on.
Verse 4. There is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him.
Because he had a specific agenda. They play this on movies. It happened in your life. consistently. The Lord is showing us examples, right? Read on.
Verse 5, there is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against the enemy.
This happened with our people a lot, with so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans doing things for money's sake, or consistently. You're just a friend because you want to get their little coins or whatnot, right? You have a specific agenda. Watch out, discern these type of spirits, right? Read on.
Verse 6, forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches.
Yeah, like help a brother out or sister out, but don't be selfish in this,
That's
don't
right.
don't go overboard, but build up a friend,
That's
right? Like build a bear, build up a friend,
right.
build a nation up.
And also your riches. Again, don't forget where you came from. And I want to just add this. I'm not going, you have to turn there, but Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, it is most high God that gives power to get wealth to establish his covenant upon the earth. We're given this wealth of knowledge, whatever it may be, riches of even material things, to help our brothers and sisters who have less than us. So not forget where we came from. So I'm going to read again, verse 6. Forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches. So as you grow and expound and excel, don't forget where you came from and help somebody get to where you are. All praises.
You said what that's Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. If we're going to add that, it's a precept. Let's get it. Deuteronomy 8. We come right back to it.
Yeah, I was writing it in my book.
Okay. Oh, you want to write? You want to go there? Okay, we can stay right here.
Yeah, for the audience, Deuteronomy 8 and 18.
Yeah, that's why I just gave that. I paraphrased that. The wealth we get is to help our fellow brothers and sisters. All right. Verse 7 of Ecclesiasticus chapter 37, verse 7. Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself.
Now we're getting into, we just gave us some examples on discerning friends. Now we discerning counselors, right? And it says, not every counselor exalteth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself, right? He's taking in stuff, but he's not practicing where he's preaching, right? Read on.
Verse 8, beware of a counselor, and know before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the lot upon thee.
That means this counselor, they're not willing to take in any type of guidance, any type of correction. They never will correct themselves, right? And it says, beware of a counsel and know before what need he have. Know the purpose to a conversation, because you could be in the midst of the spirit of Satan, right? You have to try the spirit, just like earlier, right? Try the spirit, right? For he will counsel for himself. For himself, he thinks, he or she may think, they may be acting a certain rate, acting righteously, but in the eyesight of the Lord, it's a different story, right? At least he cast the lot upon thee, set you up.
Yep.
He or she will set you up. So you have to vet that spirit when you're being counseled, right?
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 9, and say unto thee, thy way is good. And afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee.
Oh man. All right. I'll praise it.
I was going to add, but I say this right here explains it.
Yeah.
This is what people do. They want you to be negligent, destabilize your situation, and then sit back to see if you're going to fall on your face.
That's like the Road Runner and Coyote.
Yep.
He's putting all them traps up. But guess what? That Road Runner, I don't want to say he got the spirit of Christ on him, but he's moving. But you should be moving consistently in these scriptures. Because you become illuminated, you're unmovable, right?
Right, brother. All praises. You in the spirit, brother. That's right.
Read on.
Verse 10. Consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
Oh, read that again.
Verse 10. This is Ecclesiasticus in the apocryphal books, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 10. Consult not with one that suspected thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
This is highlighting that we're not supposed to deal with everybody. We can't deal with everybody. Folks inside the truth or outside the truth, you already do this anyway. You see somebody acting weird or whatever on the street, you don't go towards that person. You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna stay over here. Or certain situations or events happen, you turn the corner anyway. So don't forget that. When you even in churches or whatever, discern the spirit, test the spirit out. Don't be happy-go-lucky with everybody. Right? Take heed to these scriptures, right?
Yeah, hide thyself. Yeah, hide thyself from that counsel. If they dip their hand and show envy, which is secret hatred, if they rejoice when you fall, that person hates you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Also, that's a precept with Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. The prudent man sees a danger ahead and hideth himself. So you see someone that showed a little bit of envy, a little bit of hatred, hide yourself from them. All right. Protect yourself at all costs. All right.
Yes, sir. All praise for that precept, man.
All praises.
For verse 11.
Verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous, neither with a coward in matter of war, nor with a merchant concerning exchange, nor with a buyer of selling, nor with an envious man of thankfulness, nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness, nor with a slothful for any work, for with the hireling for a year of finishing work, nor with an idle servant of much business, hearkening not unto these in any matter of counsel.
Why does it have a long list?
Oh,
we're not.
I wish I had this when I was a young man. I wish I had read this. I wish I had known about the apocryphal books when I was, man, as a baby. If I knew this, all praises. There's a lot of hurt that I could avoid it. There's a lot of hurt we all could have avoided.
Yeah.
Do that again, brother, please.
Can
I do it again? Verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous, neither with a coward in matter of war, nor with a merchant concerning exchange, nor with a buyer of selling, nor with the envious man of thankfulness, nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness, nor with a slothful for any work, for with an hireling for a year of finishing work, nor with an idle servant of much business, hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel. If they don't have the experience, they cannot counsel you in it. If they can't show you what good looks like, they cannot counsel you. All praises.
All praise to the Most High. It is showing that you cannot deal and accept anybody in your life. Right? And it gives you examples of different situations. Don't take counsel of them.
That's right.
And all praise to the Most High. Read on.
Verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Now it's guiding you to the righteousness around you. Want the righteousness, the right folks around you, right? You have to discern these type of spirits, right? And it takes time, but be around like-minded individuals, right? Like-minded, right? Read on.
Verse 13, and let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it.
Yes, you can't go back and forth, right? Read on.
Verse 14, for a man's mind is sometime wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower.
That happens sometimes. Like you can't control yourself. You run to it could be social media. You typing stuff up on comment boards consistently, but you're not understanding that on the flip side, the whole world is watching, including your enemies.
Yes.
So we have to remember that if Christ didn't do it, then you shouldn't be doing it either, right? And also, mind your business. It's real simple. It's real simple. Mind your business. If it don't got nothing to do with your salvation, Keep it pushing. Real
Mhm.
simple, right?
Mhm.
And you have to discern those type of spirits. Don't add to it. Discern it and add correction,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Verse 15. And above all this, pray to the Most High that he will direct thy way in truth.
it says pray to the Most High. Don't take things into your own hands.
Mhm.
You pray to the Most High, and He will direct the way in truth. Not man. He will. The only way you can understand the discernment is you have to pick up this book and read
That's right.
consistently. You have to consistently. We have classes.
Mhm.
You're gonna be tested. You're gonna just go try it in the fire. You're gonna be tested. And guess what? You have to showcase your love and your dedication to the Lord. You have to showcase your knowledge and understanding to receive that reward, right? Read
That's
on.
right. Verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
Now it's saying he's giving us the discernment of counsel. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
That's
We
right.
need this in our community.
Yes.
I have to handle.
Yes. According to the word of God, this is the truth. Be counseled according to the truth. You will not fail. All praises.
Man, read on.
Verse number 17. The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
Let's get an example of that in Psalms
Mhm.
10 and 4. You have to discern this. This happens. We're gonna go back to Ecclesiastes because let's
Okay.
get Psalms 10 and 4. This is what happens when you stick to the scriptures. We're gonna get examples through Christ, Lord willing. So
Okay.
we make it there with time. Well, all praises. This is a good example when you stick to the scriptures. Discern the spirits, see how they moving, right?
Mhm.
Psalms 10 and 4.
The book of Psalm, chapter 10 and verse 4. The wicked, though the through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
Yes, God is not in all his thoughts. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. He won't. He's gonna show it through his actions, right?
Mhm.
He's gonna have that prideful smirk on him,
Mhm.
right? But really, he's gonna show it through through the spirit, honestly, because
Yes.
his God is not in his or her thoughts, right?
Yes.
Be discern that type of spirit. I'm telling you, pick up this
Yes.
book and read. Right,
Yes.
so many examples through our forefathers and mothers, right? Consistently read. Let's go back to Siraj. Let's give you an idea, an example of the continents. It's going to happen if you stay with the scriptures. And when
Mhm.
they, just like when we go out to the street, we teach. They would not expect you to know scripture. They want you to respond according to the word. But when you bring those scriptures out, the continents changing and all that, right?
Mhm.
Mm. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
Yes, you have to discern that because some people they have a high level of being rash at the mouth,
Mhm.
right? Good and evil, life and death. Yes, four manner of things appear. That's
Mhm.
true. Holding your tongue.
That's
Watch
right.
out people speaking, right? You don't want to be around them. You don't want to associate yourself with them. Are they speaking the matters, such as in First Peter 4 and 11, the oracles of
Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
right? What's their conversation? You don't want to have evil conversations. You don't want to be in the midst of them because that can corrupt good manners.
That's right.
All praise to the Most High. Read on.
Okay. Verse 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Because he doesn't practice what he teaches, right?
Mhm.
And this goes for myself, brother. You well, anybody. We go back here, and it's this book is here for us to meditate and correct for correction,
That's
right?
right.
All praise to the Most High. Read on.
Verse 20. There is one that showeth wisdom in words, and is hated. He shall be destitute of all food.
Yes, you're good with words, but the problem is you're so good with words that you forget the Most High in Christ's words,
Mhm.
right? You think you have your own book in the Bible.
Mm. Well, that's pride, brother. Oh, praise. We got to speak according to his word. Elder brings it like every time he teaches. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. We speak according to his word, there's light in us. But if we speak not according to his word, there is no light in us. That's the precept. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20 as well. So my brother also added the oracles of God. All right. Verse 20. Are you ready for verse 20?
21.
21, okay. For grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom.
That's dangerous. It's especially true if you're teaching a different doctrine other than the Lord's doctrine. You know, you're not doing the will of the Father. Man, that grace period. You don't want this to happen, folks. Read on.
Verse 22. Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth.
It's only commendable and makes sense to him. He perceives things. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's above the Lord. It's about him or her, right? They think they're doing something, but they forget. Notice I say they don't even mention their own people. They don't care about themselves. He or she. Don't be like this, folks. Discern this spirit. Read on.
Verse 23. A wise man instructed his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
All praises. Yes. Discern the spirit too. A wise man instructing his people, just like Christ.
Oh, praise. That's beautiful. Christ gives us wisdom. He comes in the volume of the book. He's teaching and instructing us daily. Oh, praise. The author and the finisher of our faith is always present. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2, I believe. Make sure I give you the right precept, but let me just check myself before I wreck myself. I believe I'm talking right, but I want to make sure. I want to make sure the author and finisher of our faith is always present with us. All right. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2, I believe. Just one double check. Yep, that's right. I just want to make sure.
12 and 2, right there in your books, folks.
That's the author and he's the author and the finisher of our faith. He's always present. He also comes in the volume of the book, Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. That's another precept. So he's always instructing his people, giving us wisdom. All praises. Excellent discernment here, brother.
All praises.
And he's showing us wisdom. He's instructing his people.
Yeah.
All praises. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you are his people. All praises, brother.
I was about to bring out the thing I
could. Let them see that they're the children of Israel. They're not Hispanic. They're not Puerto Ricans. They're not black. They're not African American. They're not Haitian. They're not Jamaican. You are not these bywords that the enemies have called us to basically divide us. So we will disconnect it from our wisdom, our life in the scriptures. All praises, brother. Excellent.
All praises. Woo.
Praises, brother.
Yes, like Christ, man. Go back to Christ.
That's right.
Read on.
What verse are we at? I'm sorry. Make sure. I think, verse 23. We read that, right?
Yes, sir.
Can I read it again?
Oh, yeah.
Verse 23. A wise man instructed his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not. This truth will not fail.
Yeah.
All praises.
Christ never failed.
Never. Never. All praises.
Verse 24.
Verse 24. A wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy.
Peace of mind.
There you go.
Because you meditate on the many stories and examples.
That's right.
Right. You have the classes, right? As well.
Yes.
All right. Read on.
Verse 25, the days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable.
Yes.
Praises. That does away with birthdays, because you can't number your days. It's innumerable, brother. You're everlasting. You're not going to say, this is my 1099th birthday. No.
Yeah, that's true.
That sounds silly, doesn't it? All praises. Yeah. Your days are innumerable as an Israelite. All praises.
Yes, because you have a peace of mind. A lot of times, I notice it. You might notice it within your families or everybody else. I'm talking to folks out there that is in the truth. You notice the stress that they going through. That's why it's important to talk to people outside of camp or school, right? Talk to folks, right? Get a feel as to what they're going through, so you can have that compassion. right? And I think that's the one of the many issues we have in Israel. We don't talk to enough people to get a sense of where they're coming from. You'll see it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
shoot,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, brother. You well when you talk to people outside, dealing
Yeah.
with people at work, school.
All in this together. I don't care if you're a billionaire, a trillionaire, and you're so-called Black, Latino, Native American, you are still struggling. You are poor in spirit. If you got material riches, you're still poor in the spirit. You're being used as a pawn by the other nations, especially Esau, Edom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Perfect, man. Read on.
Verse 26, a wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual.
Yes, because you being that light, right? Read
Mhm.
on.
Verse 27, my son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Read that again. Discern yourself too.
That's right. Don't examine yourself. Yeah, you get that evilness out of you. Don't feed that evil desire. My son, read verse 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Don't feed that flesh. Don't feed that evil desire. We all have temptation. Don't feed it. Starve it. Mortify the flesh.
Yeah.
Kill it.
Oh, praises, man. If you have this as your foundation, you will never fail. That you will have humbleness the whole time. You're willing to learn. You're willing, and then the Lord will see that. He will slowly increase you. He will, right? But you have to examine yourself, right? Read on.
Verse 28, for all things are not profitable for all men,
Hmm.
neither hath every soul pleasure in everything.
We you cannot mess with everybody, and you can't always want to just chill and have a good time. Israel want to turn up, party, whatever, all the time. Like, no, we're in the midst of captivity. We have
Mhm.
to be thinkers, so we have to relearn everything. We're a baby in this. Like, we
Yes.
coming out the womb of wickedness, and we come into that light, which is Christ. If
Mhm.
discern this, you don't want to be around folks that just want to talk on the phone all the time, be a chatty patty. You have scriptures here.
Yeah.
Talk to the Lord if you want to be a chatty patty. So
Yeah. Yeah. Speak to the Lord. Yes, right. Yeah, yes, right. All praises, brother. Excellent.
read on.
Verse 29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. Don't,
Yes.
don't overeat.
Yeah, don't overeat.
That's America. We eat. We probably the most obese people in Babylon the Great, the most obese and the most greedy people in the world. All praise. But we can learn to control that.
Mm-hmm. Got the Levitical law.
Mm-hmm.
Other brothers and sisters that's spiritually gifted with books and stuff that can help.
That's
Um,
right.
but their foundation is of God.
Mm-hmm. All praises.
All right, read on.
Verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into color or choler.
Mm. That dealing with health, counseling, and
Mm-hmm.
a friend, and examining yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to discern all this, your friends, counselor,
Mm-hmm.
yourself, examine yourself, even down to your health. And even dealing with meats and foods, it could be spiritual, just like in First Corinthians 3 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get
Mm-hmm.
the spiritual side of things. 'Cause this happens too. This
Okay.
happens
Praise.
all
Let me get it. First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse number 2. Bear with me, brother. First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 2. And it reads, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able.
yes, because you didn't digest your milk first.
Yes.
You want to have milk and meat.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a baby in this. It takes years, man. Take your time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Milk, man. Let's get the example of that milk. This is
Milk.
a good example of you said what?
No, I'm agreeing with you, brother. All praises. This is the spirit, brother. The book of Matthew,
Mhm.
chapter 4 and verse 1. Then was Jesus led of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
This is this milk. We're gonna see how Christ handled this situation of
Mhm.
discernment. You're gonna be tempted.
That's right.
Crazy. Read on.
Verse 2. And we had fasted 40 days and 40 nights. He was afterward and hungered.
He was hungry, right? Read on.
Verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
The tempter came to him, right? And he said, command that these stones be made bread, right? Let's see what he does. What will Christ do, right? Read on.
Verse 4. But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
What does that show? It's also showing that he have no sense of vainglory, right? And it also shows he stayed in the scriptures. This is the milk that we're talking about. He stayed in the scriptures. Let's get that. Let's see where he got that. Man should not live by bread alone.
Deuteronomy 8 verse 3. Is that right?
Yes,
Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3. And this is where he got it from. So Christ was a well-studied leader. He studied the scriptures. He answered by the scripture. He lived by the scriptures. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread alone only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live.
Yes. We live by every word that proceed out the Lord. That's how we live.
That's right.
You living by man and bread, you might as well go to Panera.
Leave Panera alone. Panera bread is going to not sustain you like the word of God will sustain.
Exactly, man.
For this bread, this bread of life, Christ is the bread of life. All praises. All right.
Let's go back to Matthew verse 5.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple.
He's trying to show Christ the atmosphere, right? Sound familiar, right? With folks dealing with monies and want to be seen, right? Let's see how Christ discerned this, right?
Also, this is a lesson to being negligent. He wants you to be negligent. He wants you to just do something very crazy and very I should say negligent or reckless. Okay. Verse 6. And said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Yes, just like Brother Yoel brought out. I jumped a couple of verses. I was talking about all praises, because you don't want to be reckless. Remember, use the wisdom, discernment, right? And let's see how Christ responded. The tempter is like the devil saying, "Well, jump off this cliff," so the angels can give charge concerning thee, right? Let's see what the Lord is saying.
That's right.
It also said that the devil knows scriptures too.
Beautiful. That's what I'm about to say. That all praises. The devil knows how to use scriptures, try to get you to be reckless. Oh, you don't have faith, brother. You need to just do this. Counsel you for their own, to watch you fall and not empathize with you when you miscarry. All right. Verse 7. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
He said, it is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Misapplying scripture. He wants you to misapply precepts. Be reckless. Don't know what you're doing. Halfway know what you're doing. Don't even know the milk of the scriptures, and be reckless, thinking you're a prophet when you need to be taught. All praise. We all need to be taught. All right. Deuteronomy. This is where we get it from. Chapter 6 and verse 16. And it reads, Ye shall not tempt the Lord thy God. Let me read it again. Verse 16, ye shall not tempt the Lord your God as he tempted him in Massah.
All praise to the Most High, man. He's staying to the word. Yes, it is written
It is.
consistently.
That's right. We got 10 minutes, brother. Just want to let you know, 10-minute warning.
Yes, sir, man.
All right.
I praise it. Thank you. I need that.
I got to be in the spirit. All praises. All right.
Let's see.
I will read it again. Verse 7, Jesus said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Yes, stay in the scriptures. Go straight to the laws and examples, right? Read on.
Verse 8, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them.
And the glory of them. Oh, really? Let's see how glorious this is. Read on.
Verse 9, I can make you a mega pastor. Verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
You're talking to Christ. You don't think it's going to happen to you guys out there? It don't make no sense, right? Read on.
Verse 10, then said Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
All praises, man. Let's get that in John 4. That's where he got it from. John 4.
John 4. All right. All praises. Chapter 22. All right. And also Exodus. All praise.
I write that down too. Shoot.
All right. Book of John, chapter 4 and verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
All praise. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews. Not everybody. Sorry, folks. Read on.
Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him.
All praises to the Most High. The true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. He knows who's going to follow him. He also knows who's not going to follow him, right? All praise to the Most High. But you have to discern those type of spirits out there in this world, around darkness, right? You have to discern those type of spirits. Meditate, be around like-minded individuals, because there's a lot of spirits out there. You have to be rooted in this. Utilize wisdom. Do all things in Christ. Let's get that in Colossians 3, 23 through 24.
All praises. The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 23. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men.
Yes, not unto men. Read on.
Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ.
Ye serve the Lord Christ, not man.
That's right.
You serve to receive that reward. All praises, right? When you serve the Lord Christ, you have to give double. You have to give honors to our women. All praise to the Lord.
We remember this woman. We honor to the elders, and most importantly, we honor the Father. All praises.
Yes,
God, who gives us wisdom, gives Christ the understanding of the scriptures. But we're gonna remember this woman as we share what she did. All right, what she had. All right. All praises, brother. All praise the Most High. The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 10. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she had wrought a good work upon me. You have the world always with you, but me you have not always.
All praises. Read on.
Verse 12. For in that she had poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial.
Read on.
Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. All
praises. We're gonna give remembrance to that woman, and it's let you women out there know that you guys are definitely, of course, important to us, right? The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
All praise to the Most High. We ought to obey God rather than men. All praises. That's another topic on Monday Night Laws, right? Read it for me. Today is all praises.
Brother Yoel, Shalom, Most High in Christ, blessed family.
Shalom, Most High Christ, blessed family. I hope you guys were edified with today's topic. All praise to the Most High. Until next time, Israel, we like to say Shalom.
Shalom, Most High in Christ, bless.